what happened to us. And above all, I want to know who's responsible for all this.
Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry. That's a stupid name, by the way. Anyways, DMC Devil May Cry was an early 2013 release developed by Ninja Theory and published by... Alright, let's get on with the review. Dat story. So the game follows our hero Dante, who apparently gets a pizza dick in the first few minutes of the game. Yeah, this Dante does not give a shit about anything, until a girl named Kat comes knocking at his door and... who eventually convinces him to join this group called The Order, which is run by his brother Virgil, who is keen on stopping Lex Luthor. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I mean Mundus, which by the way, who is the Demon King for all the demons, and wants to control the world through debt. Now I gotta say, the story for this game is actually really good, but the execution is... meh? Let's just say it left me wanting more. I was really getting into the story, and it seemed like the credits rolled in way too soon. Another thing that doesn't help it is the amount of silly dialogue in the game. I mean, just look at this.
Your turn, Barbie.
Me, a god, versus you, a piece of shit.
Little demon bitches. Put a spin on this. The fucking dick.
Squirrel semen.
I'm your prime date, you ugly sack of shit. I like it rough. And I got a bigger dick.
Alright, let's take a look at the characters now. So how's the Dante in this game, you're all wondering? Pretty hit and miss, actually. I mean, he shows a little of the original Dante here and there, but he's a bit of a bland character. I mean, he's got his shining moments throughout the game, and the new way he was designed actually didn't bother me a whole lot. Well, it did a little bit, but I got over it. And that white hair wig joke was totally unnecessary, and really backfired on them. Get the hell out of here. Now, Virgil's probably my most favorite character in the game. He's not as bland as Dante. He's pretty cool, he's smart, but not as cool as Devil May Cry 3's Virgil. Also, what's with the hat, Virgil? Now, as for Kat, she's the most bland character in the entire game, and really acts as a sort of love interest to Dante. Bland! Bland, I say! And as for Lex Luthor Mundus...
well, he's a straight pimpin', yo.
And then there's Lilith.
The world is at last your bitch, as am I. Nothing left but to grab it by the hair, bend it over, and...
Oh yeah, there's also this guy. So how's the gameplay, you're all wondering? Well... it's pretty goddamn good, actually. I really like what they've done with the combat in the game. Sure, they've simplified it a little bit, but it's complex to even where veteran Devil May Cry fans can be a little impressed. They still have the tap-tap-pause combos in the game. Now let's say if you wanted to perform the Stinger move, instead of pressing R1 plus triangle, you would have to do like they do in fighting games and do a double tap up plus the triangle button. Now I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just a change that they've made to this version of the game. Another thing you can do is almost parry every enemy in the game, which is really awesome and it feels really good when you pull one off. It can also stun enemies, which can be really helpful against the witches when they do their stupid projectile attacks. Yeah, take that! Oh, by the way, you can also parry the bosses in the game, which in doing so stuns them as well. Now, pulling the parries off on the bosses is a little bit harder, but when you do, you can really wreck them. Hell, you can even deflect a disco ball on one of them. That's pretty awesome. There is a ridiculous amount of weapon upgrades in this game. Or that's what it seems like. Because really, there's not a whole lot of moves for each weapon. There's more level 2 upgrades for a certain skill than anything. One of the moves I want to bring up actually is the enemy step, which means you can stay in the air as long as you want to, and create some really crazy combos. But to be honest, it's not really that important in this game, and it mainly just makes you look ridiculous. You get 8 weapons in the game total, from Trusty Rebellion to the new Demon and Angel weapons, plus your 3 projectile weapons. Your pistols Ebony and Ivory, your shotgun Revenant, and the all-new Kablooey weapon, which they're all great to use. But really, they're not all that useful in this game, and really get outshined by the melee weapons. The demon weapons Arbiter and Eryx, and the angel weapons Aquila and Osiris, they are all great weapons to use. And all 8 weapons can be chained together in combat, and the way they mapped it out on the controller, it just feels right. Though I could do without the second dodge button, but hey, that's why there's custom button mapping. Speaking of dodges, with the demon weapons, if you dodge right before an enemy hits you, you can get an increased damage output from it. And with the angelic weapons, you get this awesome teleporting evade. There are a few problems I have with the game, like the awesome loading screens. And a few glitches. Okay, so that last one wasn't technically a glitch. Now, the no lock-on really didn't bother me when I first started playing. It wasn't until the higher difficulties when it became a problem. By the way, did I tell you it's incredibly easy to get triple S ranks in this game? Just check this out.
So S rank, yeah. Damn, you're Dante. So S rank, so S rank, so S rank. Yeah. How'd you get to be so S rank?
Now let's talk about the Devil Trigger. I actually didn't use it at all in my first playthrough, and I believe it's only useful on higher difficulties. And it really makes Heaven and Hell difficulty a complete joke. Did I mention the environments in this game are awesome? Limbo is such a great setting for this game. With the shifting environments, every single location you visit in the game looks completely different from each other, and brings us some awesome platforming stages. There are keys hidden throughout the environment, which can be used to unlock doors that take you to many of the secret missions in the game. Some ask you to kill a certain amount of enemies within the time limit, or some where you have to reach a certain goal before the time ends. And when you complete one, it either rewards you with a health upgrade or a Devil Trigger upgrade. Past items return, including the Vital Stars and the Gold Orbs. and the new health and devil triggered crosses, which just replaces the blue and purple orbs from the other games. There's 7 difficulties in this game. Holy crap. Beating any of the first 3 unlocks Sons of Sparta mode, and so on and so forth. The one that'll intimidate everybody is Hell in Hell mode. And when I first read what it was, I was like,
Damn!
well, it's time to get to the final part of the review, guys. Beating the game on any of the 3 beginning difficulties will unlock White-Haired Dante. And beating Sons of Sparta mode will unlock Jacketless Dante. And beating Dante Must Die difficulty unlocks
Super Dante!
which gives you unlimited devil trigger. At the cost of the score percentage at the end, that is. There's even DLC costume for this game, including Classic Dante, more Emo Dante, and Ninja Dante. There's also DLC for your weapons, including Samurai Skin, which is the coolest, and a Bone Skin, which is okay, and last but not least, the Gold Skin. 'Cause why not? There's also Orb Harvester and Item Finder available for DLC. These 2 are both self-explanatory. There's also Bloody Palace mode available free for download, where you can take on 100 waves of enemies and bosses, and it's just awesome. And last but not least, Virgil's Downfall. It's available at a reasonable price. I'll get into this more when I actually review it. And just by playing and beating certain things in the game, you unlock a whole lot of concept art, and they're all pretty interesting to look through. Guys, I like this game a whole lot, and I'm hoping after you guys watch this review, you guys will hopefully give it a shot. I have put a lot of hours in this game. I mean, a lot. And getting all the trophies and achievements in the game isn't really all that difficult, especially since you can use Super Dante on Hell in Hell mode. The hardest trophy I could think of was getting a triple S rank in every mission on Nephilim difficulty, but if you keep at it, you'll get it in no time. Now, minus some of the complaining I did with the game, I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for a pretty solid action game. And hey, would you look at that, they're re-releasing it for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One as DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. This has been NinjaHedgehog. Have a great day, everyone.